The blue light of multiple monitors cast shadows across Maya Reyes's face as her fingers danced across the keyboard. At 17, she had just discovered what tech billionaires paid millions to protect, a fatal flaw in Tesla's autonomous systems that could endanger thousands. For 3 days, she'd tried reporting it through proper channels. For 3 days, she'd been ignored. Meanwhile, across the country in Austin, Elon Musk paced his office overlooking the Tesla Gigafactory. 53 years had given him everything he'd dreamed of, and burdens he never imagined. His phone buzzed with an urgent security alert. Someone had penetrated systems thought impenetrable. These two worlds, separated by age, power, and perspective, were about to collide in a way that would reshape the future of technology itself. What happens when a teenage prodigy forces the world's richest man to confront the flaws in his vision? Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. The Houston sun beat down mercilessly as Maya Reyes trudged the last half-mile home from the bus stop. Her backpack, heavy with textbooks she rarely opened, thumped against her spine with each step. She could have taken a rideshare. Her grandmother always left emergency money, but she preferred saving it for components. Computer parts didn't grow on trees, especially not in the East End. The neighborhood had changed since her childhood. Tech workers priced out of Austin had discovered Houston's affordable housing and decent fiber connections. Gentrification crept block by block toward her grandmother's modest bungalow, a house that had been in the family for 3 generations. Maya wiped sweat from her brow and checked her phone. 27 new notifications on the forum where she'd posted yesterday about potential vulnerabilities in Tesla's latest firmware update. She'd expected maybe 3 replies, not 27. Something was happening. As she approached the house, she noticed her grandmother wasn't tending her usual afternoon garden. Instead, Gloria Reyes stood on the porch, arms crossed, watching Maya approach. That wasn't good. School called, Gloria said without preamble as Maya climbed the steps. Said you missed 3 classes today. Maya sighed, reaching for the door. It was just PE study hall and history, nothing important. Nothing important? Gloria's eyebrows shot up as she followed Maya inside. The house was cool, the ancient window unit working overtime. Your education is everything important, Maya. Isabella, it's what your parents wanted for you. Maya tensed at the mention of her parents. 6 years had passed since the accident, but the wound still felt raw when prodded. Mom and Dad would understand that some things can't wait. Like what? Gloria asked, her voice softening slightly. Despite raising a teenager in her 70s, she still moved with the energy of someone 20 years younger, following Maya to the kitchen. What's so important that you're cutting class? Maya grabbed a glass of water, buying time. How could she explain that she'd spent the morning in the school's computer lab, tracing vulnerabilities in systems that controlled thousands of vehicles? That she'd discovered something terrifying? That traditional reporting methods had failed. Her? I found something, Maya finally said, setting down her glass. Something important. Important enough to risk your diploma? Gloria countered, but curiosity had crept into her voice. Maya hesitated, then nodded. Remember the accident? How the investigators said it was system failure, but Tesla denied it? Gloria's face hardened. The memory of her son and daughter-in-law's deaths hung between them like a physical presence. Maya, we've been through this. The courts ruled. The courts were wrong, Maya interrupted. She pulled her laptop from her backpack and set it on the kitchen table. The screen came to life with lines of code, diagrams, and simulations. I found the flaw. It's still there, in every Tesla on the road right now. Gloria stared at the screen, her expression a mixture of concern and confusion. The technical details meant little to her, but her granddaughter's intensity was unmistakable. You should eat something, Gloria finally said, turning toward the refrigerator. This was her way, nurture first, then talk. Tyler called earlier. Said he needs footage for some project. I'll call him back, Maya said absently, fingers already flying across the keyboard. Across the room, the small television played quietly, a news anchor discussing the latest Tesla quarterly report. The camera cut to Elon Musk at a press conference, confidently proclaiming the latest safety statistics. 0 fatalities due to our autonomous systems this quarter, Musk was saying. The data is clear. Our vehicles are demonstrably safer than human-driven alternatives. Maya's head snapped up. That's not true, she whispered, eyes locked on the screen. What's that, mija? Gloria asked, sliding a plate of reheated enchiladas in front of her granddaughter. He's either lying or he doesn't know, Maya said, pushing the food aside to make room for her laptop. Either way, people are in danger. Gloria sighed, recognizing the look in Maya's eyes, the same determination her son had shown whenever he believed in something. Maya, whatever you're thinking about doing, I have to tell people, Maya said. I've tried the official channels. 3 days of emails, forms, and support tickets. Nothing. It's like shouting into a void. These are powerful people, Maya, Gloria said carefully. People with lawyers. People who don't like being challenged, especially by a teenager, by a girl, by someone without fancy degrees. Maya finished, frustration edging her voice. That's why nothing changes, abuela. Because the right people never get heard. Gloria watched her granddaughter for a long moment, then pulled out a chair and sat down. Tell me what you found, she said quietly. Help me understand. For the next hour, Maya explained in the simplest terms she could manage. The vulnerability wasn't obvious. It involved the interaction between Tesla's neural network training protocols and their real-time decision-making algorithms. Under very specific circumstances nearly identical to those that had killed her parents, the system could make catastrophically wrong decisions. So you're sure? Gloria finally asked. Beyond any doubt? Maya nodded. I've tested. It's 7 different ways. The flaw is there and it's reproducible. Gloria reached across the table and took Maya's hand. Your parents would be proud of your brilliance, she said softly, but they'd want you safe. Going up against these corporations. The doorbell interrupted her thought. Maya checked the security camera feed on her phone and broke into a genuine smile for the first time that day. It's Tyler, she said, already heading for the door. Tyler Washington had been Maya's best friend since 7th grade, when they'd bonded over a shared love of sci-fi and a shared hatred of middle school social hierarchies. At 18, he towered over Maya's 5'4" frame, his camera equipment adding to his imposing presence. You missed the perfect light, he complained good-naturedly, lugging his gear into the living room. Golden hour, Maya. We talked about this. Sorry, Maya said, not sounding sorry at all. Something came up. Something always comes up, Tyler replied, but his smile took any sting from the words. He nodded respectfully to Gloria. Mrs. Reyes, you're looking radiant as always. Flattery will get you dinner, Tyler, Gloria called back, already pulling another plate from the cabinet. They settled in the living room. Tyler began setting up his equipment with practiced efficiency. A film student at Houston Community College, he'd been documenting Maya's coding projects for over a year, partly for his portfolio, partly because he genuinely believed her work mattered. So what's the project today? He asked, adjusting his camera. Please tell me it's not another blockchain thing. I cannot edit another 4 hours of you explaining proof of work versus proof of stake. Maya hesitated. It's bigger than that. Way bigger. Something in her tone made Tyler pause. He lowered his camera and studied her. Maya, what did you do? I found a fatal flaw in Tesla's autonomous driving system, she said quietly. The same flaw that killed my parents. Tyler blinked. Holy shit. Language, Gloria called from the kitchen. Sorry, Mrs. Reyes, Tyler replied automatically, then lowered his voice. Are you serious? Can you prove it? Maya nodded. That's not all. I've been trying to report it through official channels. Nothing. Complete silence. So what's the plan? Tyler asked, already reaching for his camera again. Because I know you have one. Maya took a deep breath. I'm going to challenge Elon Musk to a public debate. Tyler froze. You're What? Think about it, Maya said, warming to her idea. Private reports get buried, but a public challenge? That gets attention. That forces a response. Or a lawsuit. Tyler countered. Or worse. Maya shook her head. Not if I do it right. I need to make it clear I'm not trying to harm his companies, I'm trying to save lives. Tyler looked skeptical. And you think Elon Musk, the Elon Musk, is going to debate a high school student because she asked nicely? No, Maya said, a slight smile playing at her lips. I think he'll debate me because I'll leave him no choice. As Maya outlined her plan, Tyler's expression shifted from skepticism to grudging admiration. It was audacious, possibly illegal, and exactly the kind of thing Maya would conceive. By the time Gloria called them for dinner, they were deep in planning mode. I'll need to compile everything, Maya was saying as they sat at the table. Documentation, simulations, proof of concept, everything rock solid and irrefutable. And I'll need better audio equipment, Tyler added, serving himself a generous portion of enchiladas. My shotgun mic is decent, but if we're really doing this... Gloria listened quietly, her concern growing with each enthusiastic exchange. After dinner, when Tyler had gone home to collect more equipment, she found Maya in her bedroom, surrounded by screens and circuits. Mia, she said softly from the doorway. Are you sure about this? Maya looked up, the blue light of the monitors reflecting in her dark eyes. I have to try, Abuela. For Mom and Dad. Gloria crossed the room and sat on the edge of the bed. At 72, her movements were still graceful, though slower than in her teaching days. Your parents wouldn't want you to put yourself at risk. The risk is doing nothing, Maya countered. Every day people trust their lives to these systems. They deserve to know the truth. Gloria studied her granddaughter. This brilliant, determined, young woman who somehow contained echoes of both her son and daughter-in-law. Your father was like this, she finally said, always fighting for what he believed was right. Is that bad? Maya asked, suddenly unsure. No, Gloria said with a sad smile. But it didn't always make his life easier. She patted Maya's hand. Whatever you decide, I'm with you, but promise me you'll be careful. These are powerful people. I promise, Maya said. Besides, what's the worst that could happen? He ignores me like everyone else has. Across the country, in a gleaming office tower overlooking Austin, Elon Musk was having a very different kind of evening. Surrounded by holographic displays showing real-time data from his various companies, he was deep in conversation with Dominic Foster, his chief of staff. The Mars timeline is aggressive, Dominic was saying, swiping through projection charts. The board is concerned about resource allocation. The board is always concerned, Musk replied dismissively. Show them the new propulsion numbers. That should shut them up for a while. At 53, Musk remained as dynamic and driven as ever, though the years had added silver threads to his hair and deeper lines around his eyes. 2 decades of being the public face of multiple revolutionary companies had taught him to power through exhaustion, to make decisions that would paralyze most executives. There's also the matter of the Chinese regulatory approval, Dominic continued. They're dragging their feet again. Musk suppressed a sigh. Set up a call with their minister. The usual approach. Jobs, investment, technology transfer. They'll come around. As Dominic made notes, Vanessa Chen entered without knocking, a privilege afforded to very few. As head of security for SpaceX, she operated with a level of autonomy that reflected the sensitivity of her work. We need to talk, she said, her usual composure noticeably strained. There's been a security incident. Musk's attention sharpened. Breach? Probe, Vanessa clarified. Someone's been testing our systems. Tesla and SpaceX both. Sophisticated, targeted. Competitors? State actors? Musk asked, already moving toward his secure terminal. Neither, Vanessa said, hesitation evident in her voice. We traced it to a high school in Houston. Musk paused, turning to face her. A high school. A student, we think, Vanessa continued. The pattern suggests a single operator, highly skilled. They identified vulnerabilities in the autonomous driving neural net that our own team missed during testing. How bad? Musk asked quietly. Bad enough that I'm here at 9 p.m., Vanessa replied. The vulnerability is real and exploitable. Our team is working on a patch, but there's something else. The intrusion didn't extract data or plant malware. It was analytical, like they were proving a point. Dominic, who had been listening silently, stepped forward. Do we know who? We have a name, Vanessa said. Maya Reyes, 17 years old. No prior security incidents, no criminal record. Above average student, but nothing remarkable in her academic file. And yet she breached systems that cost millions to secure, Musk mused. Interesting. There's more, Vanessa added, handing over a tablet. Her parents died in a Tesla accident 6 years ago. The investigation ruled it system failure, but our legal team got it classified as driver error. Musk scrolled through the report, his expression unreadable. Was it? Driver error? Vanessa hesitated. The data was inconclusive. Meaning? Musk pressed. Meaning there were anomalies we couldn't fully explain, Vanessa admitted, but nothing concrete enough to justify a recall or admission of liability. Musk set the tablet down and moved to the window, gazing out at the city lights below. So, this girl believes our system killed her parents, and now she's found evidence that the same flaw still exists? That's our assessment, Vanessa confirmed. Options? Musk asked, still facing the window. Dominic cleared his throat. Standard protocol would be cease and desist, followed by legal action if necessary. We could also attempt to recruit her, offer a scholarship, internship, something to bring her into the fold, or we could fix the flaw and pretend we never knew about it, Vanessa added. Our team is already working on the patch. We could push it as a routine update. Musk turned back to face them, expression thoughtful. What would you do if you were her? If you believed a corporation was covering up something that killed your parents? Sir? Dominic looked confused by the question. I'd make it public, Vanessa said quietly. Force their hand. Musk nodded. Exactly. So that's what we prepare. For Dominic, have legal ready a full response package. Settlement offers, NDAs, the works. Vanessa, I want that patch accelerated. 24-hour push to all vehicles once it's tested. And the girl? Dominic asked. Monitor her, Musk said. But no contact yet. Let's see what she does. As they left his office, Musk returned to the window, watching the Tesla Gigafactory in the distance, its lights blazing against the night sky. He'd built his empire on disruption, on challenging established systems. There was something uncomfortably familiar about this situation, a mirror reflecting his younger self back at him, with all the righteousness and none of the compromises that came with power. The following morning, Maya executed her plan. With Tyler documenting everything, she launched a coordinated information campaign across multiple platforms. Unlike typical hackers seeking notoriety, Maya's approach was methodical and professional. She published a detailed technical report outlining the vulnerability, complete with anonymized data showing near misses and potential failure scenarios. She included a statement making it clear her goal was public safety, not corporate sabotage. And then came the challenge, a video filmed in the stark simplicity of her bedroom, Maya looking directly into the camera with the quiet confidence of someone who knew they held irrefutable truth. Mr. Musk, she began, my name is Maya Reyes. 6 years ago, my parents died when their Tesla Model Y made an impossible decision. It swerved into oncoming traffic rather than applying emergency brakes. Your company called it driver error. It wasn't. She explained the technical flaw in terms accessible to both engineers and the general public, a rare gift that immediately caught attention in tech circles. I've discovered that this same vulnerability still exists in your current neural net architecture, she continued. I've spent 3 days attempting to report this through your security protocols without response. People's lives are at stake, so now I'm going public. The challenge came next. I'm not interested in damaging your company or your reputation. I'm interested in fixing a dangerous flaw. so I challenge you to a public debate. Your engineers and your data against mine. Live streamed. Transparent. Let the public see the evidence and judge for themselves. She concluded with a statement that would later be quoted in thousands of headlines. Technology without accountability isn't innovation. It's recklessness. Prove me wrong, Mr. Musk. I'll be waiting. Within hours, the video had gone viral. Tech journalists, hungry for content that wasn't a product release or quarterly earnings report, latched onto the David versus Goliath narrative. Industry forums buzzed with analyses of Maya's technical claims, many supporting her conclusions about the vulnerability. By noon, Greer debate Maya was trending globally. By dinner, it had reached the mainstream news cycle. Maya's phone and social media accounts exploded with messages: support, criticism, job offers, interview requests. Gloria had to disconnect the landline after the fifth reporter called. "This is insane," Tyler said, scrolling through the stats on Maya's video. 2 million views in 8 hours. The Washington Post just shared it. Maya hardly heard him, focused, instead on the technical responses flooding specialized forums. "The engineering community is validating my findings," she said, a note of vindication in her voice. "Look at this thread. 3 Tesla ex-employees confirming the vulnerability." Gloria watched from the kitchen doorway, pride and worry warring on her face. "And what happens when he responds? If he responds?" "When?" Maya corrected, confident despite the butterflies in her stomach. "He'll have to respond. The pressure's too great now." In Austin, the pressure was indeed mounting. Dominic had assembled a crisis management team in Musk's office, with Vanessa joining remotely from the security center. "The video has gone viral," Dominic reported grimly. "Traditional media has picked it up. Technical communities are validating her claims." "The vulnerability?" Musk asked, cutting to what he considered the heart of the matter. "Real," Vanessa confirmed. "We've isolated it. The patch is being tested now, but it will require a significant neural net retraining. Quick fixes won't cut it." "And the accident, her parents?" An uncomfortable silence followed before Vanessa spoke. "We've reviewed the logs. She's not wrong. The system made the wrong decision. The same vulnerability existed then." Musk absorbed this, his expression clouding. "So we've had a potentially fatal flaw in our systems for 6 years. It's an edge case," Dominic said quickly. "One in millions of driving scenarios." "Tell that to her parents," Musk replied quietly. He stood and paced the length of his office. "Options?" "Legal recommends an immediate cease and desist," Dominic began. Following that, "No," Musk interrupted. "Legal options always sound the same. Give me something creative." The room fell silent again until Carlos Mendez, Tesla's head of autonomous systems engineering, cleared his throat. Carlos had been brought in specifically for this crisis, his technical expertise unmatched in the company. "We could invite her in," he suggested. "Not a public debate, but a private technical review. Acknowledge the vulnerability, credit her with the find, offer compensation for her parents. Standard bug bounty protocol, just scaled up." "She won't accept," Vanessa said immediately. Her video made it clear. She wants transparency, not a private settlement. "What about the debate?" asked a junior PR associate, immediately shrinking under the collective stare of the room. "I mean, not a debate exactly, but what if we reframe it? A collaborative technical workshop, public but controlled." Musk's expression shifted, interest kindling. "Elaborate," the associate stammered slightly under sudden scrutiny. We invite her to SpaceX or Tesla. Full technical team present. We live stream it, but frame it as collaborative problem solving rather than confrontation. Shows transparency, willingness to listen, and we control the physical environment." Dominic was already shaking his head. "The optics of bringing a teenager into our headquarters for what could become an adversarial—" "I like it," Musk interrupted. "It's unexpected, gets ahead of the narrative." "Sir," Dominic protested. "The legal exposure is already maximal," Musk finished. "She's right about the flaw, she's right about her parents. Those facts don't change whether we fight her or embrace her." He turned to Carlos. How long would it take to implement her proposed fix, assuming it works as described? Carlos looked uncomfortable. That's the thing. Her approach is unorthodox. She's suggesting a fundamental restructuring of how the neural net handles edge case prioritization. It would take months to implement properly. But would it work? Musk pressed. Theoretically? Yes. It's brilliant, actually, Carlos admitted. I've been reviewing her code all morning. Some of her solutions, I wouldn't have thought of them. Musk nodded. Decision made. Perfect. Here's what we do. Vanessa, continue the patch development. Push it as soon as it's stable. No waiting. Carlos, prepare a technical team to engage with her publicly. Dominic, set up the logistics for bringing her here. Full transparency, live streamed as suggested. And the debate format? Dominic asked, clearly still uncomfortable. Not a debate, Musk corrected. A collaboration. Frame it as the future of safe AI or something suitably visionary. Make it clear we're bringing her in because we value her. Insight, not because we're being forced to respond. As the team dispersed to execute his instructions, Musk remained by the window, contemplating the unexpected turn of events. He pulled out his phone and watched Maya's video again, studying her delivery, her confidence, the clarity of her technical explanation. Young lady, he murmured to himself, you certainly know how to make an entrance. In Houston, Maya was experiencing the first wave of backlash. For every supporter praising her courage, there was a devotee of Musk or Tesla, attacking her credentials, her motives, even her appearance. The comments ranged from dismissive to threatening, forcing Tyler to take over monitoring social media channels while Maya focused on refining her technical documentation. You need to see this, Tyler said suddenly, turning his laptop toward Maya. On the screen was a tweet from Elon Musk's official account. Maya Reyes challenge accepted, but with a twist. Not a debate, collaboration. Let's solve this together publicly and transparently. Your insights are valuable. Details coming. Collaborate, not confront. Maya stared at the screen, reading and rereading the short message. Of all the responses she had anticipated, legal threats, dismissal, stonewalling, this wasn't one of them. He agreed, she said finally, disbelief evident in her voice. In a way, Tyler replied, already scanning the reactions flooding in. He's reframing it, but he's acknowledged you publicly. That's huge. Collaboration, Maya repeated, testing the word. What does that even mean? Before Tyler could speculate, Maya's phone rang, an unknown number with an Austin area code. With trembling fingers, she answered and put it on speaker. Maya Reyes, a crisp, professional voice asked. Speaking, Maya replied, trying to keep her voice steady. My name is Dominic Foster, Chief of Staff for Elon Musk. Mr. Musk has asked me to extend a formal invitation for you to visit our headquarters in Austin to discuss your findings regarding our autonomous systems. Maya exchanged a wide-eyed glance with Tyler. Discuss? How exactly? As Mr. Musk indicated in his public statement, he's proposing a collaborative technical workshop, Dominic continued. Live-streamed for transparency, with our engineering team present. The goal would be to fully understand your findings and work together on implementing solutions. When? Maya asked, mind racing. We'd like to propose next Wednesday, Dominic replied. We would arrange transportation for you and accommodations in Austin. You're welcome to bring an advisor, a parent or guardian perhaps. My grandmother, Maya said automatically. And my friend Tyler. He's been documenting my work. There was a brief pause before Dominic responded. That should be acceptable. I'll email you the details for review. We'll need signed consent forms, of course, given your age. After exchanging contact information and a few more details, the call ended, leaving Maya and Tyler staring at each other in stunned silence. Did that just happen? Tyler finally asked. I think so, Maya said slowly. I need to tell Abuela. They found Gloria in the garden, coaxing life from plants that struggled in the Houston heat. When Maya explained what had happened, Gloria listened quietly, her gardening trowel forgotten in her soil-covered hands. "So this man," she said when Maya finished, "this billionaire whose company you publicly challenged, wants you to come to his headquarters for a live-streamed collaboration," Maya confirmed, "with his engineering team." Gloria removed her gardening gloves slowly. "And you believe this is a genuine offer, not a trap of some kind?" "It's public now," Tyler pointed out. "The whole tech world is watching. If they tried anything shady, it would be a PR disaster. Telling and preparing this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us." Now back to the story. "More of a disaster than a teenager finding a fatal flaw in their systems?" Gloria countered, her protective instincts evident. "Maya, Carino, powerful people don't like being embarrassed, especially not by those they consider beneath them." "But that's just it," Maya insisted. "He's not treating me like I'm beneath him, he's treating my work seriously. That's all I wanted." Gloria studied her granddaughter, recognizing the mixture of excitement and determination in her eyes. "You've already decided to go, haven't you?" Maya nodded. "I have to, Abuela. This is my chance to make real change, to fix the problem that took Mom and Dad." Gloria sighed deeply, then straightened her back. "Then I'm coming with you. Someone needs to make sure these tech billionaires remember they're dealing with a 17-year-old girl, not just a brain they can exploit." Maya smiled, relief washing over her. "Thank you." "I'm coming too," Tyler added. "Someone has to document this historic nerd summit." As they laughed together in the garden, the enormity of what was happening began to sink in. What had started as an act of frustrated justice-seeking had evolved into something Maya could barely comprehend, a direct line to influencing one of the world's most powerful technology companies. Later that evening, after reviewing the formal invitation and legal documents Dominic had sent, Maya found herself unable to sleep. She slipped out of bed and padded to the kitchen, surprised to find Gloria already there nursing a cup of tea. "Couldn't sleep either?" Gloria asked, pushing a second cup toward Maya. Maya shook her head, accepting the tea gratefully. "I keep thinking about Mom and Dad, wondering if they'd approve of what I'm doing." Gloria reached across the table, taking Maya's hand in hers. "Your mother would be terrified for you," she said honestly, "but so proud. And your father? He'd be right there beside you, helping you prepare for every question, every challenge." "I miss them," Maya said softly. "Especially now." "They're with you," Gloria assured her. "In everything you do, in how you think, how you fight for what's right." She squeezed Maya's hand. "But you're not alone, Mija. You have me, you have Tyler. And now, it seems, you have the attention of the entire tech world." Maya smiled despite her nerves. "No pressure, right?" "Only the pressure you put on yourself," Gloria replied wisely. "Remember what matters. Making systems safer, preventing other families from experiencing what we did. The rest is just noise." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, sipping tea and contemplating the days ahead. When Maya finally returned to bed, she felt more centered, more prepared for whatever awaited her in Austin. As her head touched the pillow, her phone buzzed with a notification. Another tweet from Elon Musk, posted just moments ago. "Looking forward to meeting Maya Reyes next week. Sometimes the best innovations come from unexpected sources. Remember, I was also a teenager coding in my bedroom once." Next Gen Tech, Maya stared at the message, trying to decipher its meaning. Was it a genuine extension of respect? A calculated PR move? A reminder of his own prodigy status? Whatever its intent, one thing was clear: Elon Musk was taking her seriously. And that was both thrilling and terrifying. As they landed in Austin, Maya felt the weight of the moment. This wasn't just about a technical vulnerability anymore. It was about confronting the man whose company she believed responsible for her parents' deaths. Their Tesla Escort, a sleek black Model X with tinted windows, waited on the tarmac. The driver, a woman with perfect posture and watchful eyes, introduced herself as Vanessa Chen, head of security for SpaceX. Mr. Musk is looking forward to meeting you, she said, her tone professional but guarded. We've arranged accommodations at the Four Seasons downtown. Gloria raised an eyebrow. Quite generous. Mr. Musk believes in treating guests appropriately, Vanessa replied smoothly. As they loaded their luggage, she added, There's been a slight change of plans. Mr. Musk would like to meet with Maya privately before tomorrow's public session. Absolutely not, Gloria said immediately. My granddaughter doesn't meet anyone without me present. Vanessa nodded, seemingly unsurprised. Of course. The invitation extends to all of you. Dinner at his residence, 7 o'clock. Tyler whistled, softly. Dinner at Elon's house? That wasn't in the official schedule. Mr. Musk often prefers informal discussions before formal engagements, Vanessa explained, especially with unique collaborators. The drive from the airport revealed an Austin transformed by tech money. Gleaming towers jutting from the once modest skyline. Construction cranes everywhere. Maya watched silently, trying to calm her racing thoughts. The Four Seasons exceeded anything Maya had experienced. Their suite, larger than Gloria's entire house, offered panoramic views of Lady Bird Lake. Gloria explored with the wonder of someone who had spent decades making a teacher's salary stretch to cover basic necessities. This bathroom is bigger than my first apartment, she marveled. While Gloria rested and Tyler organized his equipment, Maya paced the suite, rehearsing arguments, explanations, defenses. At precisely 6:30, another Tesla arrived to transport them to Musk's residence. The house, more compound than home, sat on a secluded hill overlooking the city. Modernist architecture blended with the natural landscape, glass and stone harmonizing with the Texas hillside. Security was visible but unobtrusive as they approached the entrance. Dominic Foster greeted them in the foyer, his tailored suit and practiced smile marking him instantly as the kind of executive who managed delicate situations. Ms. Reyes, Mrs. Reyes, Mr. Washington, welcome, he said warmly. Mr. Musk is waiting in the dining room, may I? He gestured toward Tyler's camera equipment. The camera stays with me, Tyler said firmly. That was part of our agreement. Of course, Dominic nodded. Though Mr. Musk has requested this preliminary meeting remain off the record, the formal session tomorrow will be fully documented. Gloria stepped forward. We agreed to come here in good faith. We expect the same in return. Absolutely, Dominic assured her. This is simply a chance to get acquainted before the technical discussions. Nothing nefarious. Maya touched Tyler's arm. It's okay, we can do this one without recording. Tyler reluctantly powered down his equipment as Dominic led them through the house. The interior was surprisingly modest for a billionaire's home, functional, even Spartan in places, though the technology integrated throughout was clearly cutting edge. The dining room featured a long table of reclaimed wood, set simply for 5 people. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Austin's glittering skyline. And there, standing by the windows, was Elon Musk himself. In person, he seemed both more and less than his public persona, taller than Maya had expected, with the slight stoop of someone who spent too many hours hunched over work. When he turned to greet them, his expression was curious rather than confrontational. Maya Reyes, he said, crossing the room with his hand extended. The teenager who cracked our security protocols. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Maya shook his hand, surprised by the firmness of his grip. Mr. Musk, thank you for inviting us. Elon, please, he corrected, then turned to Gloria. Mrs. Reyes, an honor. Your granddaughter is quite remarkable. She takes after her parents, Gloria replied evenly. A flicker of something. Discomfort, perhaps regret, crossed Musk's face before he turned to Tyler. And you're the documentarian. Good thinking. History should be recorded. Dinner was served by a single attendant who appeared and disappeared with practiced invisibility. The conversation began with careful pleasantries, observations about Austin, questions about Houston, brief discussions of the changing tech landscape. It was Gloria who broke through the artifice. Mr. Musk, Elon, why are we really here? This lovely dinner, the private jet, the hotel suite. It's all very generous, but my granddaughter came to discuss a serious technical issue. Musk set down his fork, studying Gloria with newfound respect. Direct. I appreciate that. He turned to Maya. Your grandmother's right. Let's dispense with the pleasantries. You discovered a critical vulnerability in our systems. The same vulnerability that likely contributed to your parents' accident. Maya's breath caught. This direct acknowledgement was more than she had dared hope for. Our engineers have verified your findings, Musk continued. The flaw exists. We're working on a patch, but your solution is elegant. More comprehensive than what our team initially developed. Then why wasn't it found earlier? Maya asked quietly. Why did it take someone like me, an outsider, to identify a problem that's existed for 6 years? That, Musk said, leaning forward, is precisely what I want to discuss tomorrow. Not just the technical fix, but the systemic issues that allowed this to happen. He turned to include Gloria and Tyler. Companies grow, processes become rigid, perspectives narrow. Sometimes we need an outsider's view to see what should have been obvious. Is that what tomorrow's collaboration is about? Maya asked skeptically. A PR exercise to show how open-minded Tesla is? Musk smiled slightly. Skeptical. Good. Yes, there's a PR element. I'd be lying if I claimed otherwise, but there's more. He stood, walking to a side table to retrieve a tablet. This is our current autonomous systems architecture, not the public version, the actual core code. He handed the tablet to Maya, who took it with wide eyes. I'm looking at proprietary Tesla code. You are, Musk confirmed, because tomorrow isn't just about fixing one vulnerability. I want to discuss bringing you on board. Officially. The table fell silent. Tyler's mouth actually dropped open. Bringing me on board? Maya repeated. As a consultant initially, given your age, Musk explained. With a full-time position waiting when you're ready. Your perspective is valuable. Your approach to problem-solving is unconventional. We need that. Gloria's eyes narrowed. So this is a job offer? A way to bring my granddaughter's criticism in-house where it can be controlled? Partially, Musk admitted with surprising candor, but also recognition of exceptional talent. I started coding as a teenager too. I know what it's like to see solutions others miss. Maya stared at the tablet in her hands, mind racing. In my parents' accident, the official record still lists it as driver error. That's part of tomorrow's discussion, Musk said quietly. Full transparency, public acknowledgement of the flaw and its potential contribution to past incidents, including your parents. Maya looked to her grandmother, seeing both caution and encouragement in her eyes. This was more than they had expected, but also complicated. Their clear moral positioning. If Musk was willing to acknowledge the error and fix it, what was left to fight for? I need to think about this, Maya finally said. The job offer, I mean. The technical discussion tomorrow should proceed regardless. Of course, Musk agreed readily. No pressure on the position. My interest is primarily in fixing the vulnerability quickly and correctly. Your insights are valuable whether you join us formally or not. As dinner concluded, Musk walked them to the door himself, rather than delegating to Dominic. At the threshold, he paused, addressing Maya directly. One more thing, he said, his tone more personal than it had been all evening. I'm sorry about your parents. Truly. Whatever our technical discussion reveals tomorrow, that loss is real and significant. It shouldn't have happened. The simple acknowledgement, human rather than corporate, caught Maya off guard. She managed a nod before being ushered back to the waiting car. During the drive back to the hotel, none of them spoke, each processing the unexpected turn the evening had taken. Only when they were safely in their suite did the conversations explode. A job offer, Tyler exclaimed. From Elon freaking Musk. A strategic move, Gloria countered, more cautious. A way to potentially control the narrative. Maya sat by the window watching Austin's skyline. Maybe both, she said quietly. But he acknowledged the flaw. He's willing to go public with it. That's what matters most. As Gloria and Tyler continued debating, Maya's phone buzzed with a message. from Dr. Aisha Okafor, a leading AI ethics researcher whose work Maya had followed for years. Maya, heard about tomorrow's session with Musk. I've been invited as an independent observer. Would like to speak with you beforehand if possible. Important context to share. Maya stared at the message, wonder and confusion mingling. How had Dr. Okafor gotten her number? Why was she involved? The questions multiplied, each one adding complexity to what had already become far more than a simple technical confrontation. Tomorrow would change everything. Maya just wasn't sure anymore exactly how. Morning broke over Austin with golden light streaming through the hotel's panoramic windows. Maya had slept fitfully, dreams filled with code and crashes and parents she could no longer clearly picture. She rose early, reviewing her notes one final time before the day that would change her life. Gloria found her on the balcony, watching the city wake up. "Ready, mija?" "As I'll ever be," Maya replied. "Dr. Okafor is meeting us for breakfast downstairs. She wants to talk before the session." "The AI ethics researcher?" Gloria asked. "How is she involved?" "I don't know," Maya admitted. "But her work on algorithmic bias and accountability is groundbreaking. Having her there can only help." Tyler joined them, camera already in hand. "Today's the day. How are you feeling?" "Like I might throw up," Maya said honestly. "But also, ready." Dr. Aisha Okafor was waiting in a quiet corner of the hotel restaurant, her precise posture and thoughtful eyes marking her as someone who chose her words carefully. At 39, she'd already become one of the most respected voices in AI ethics, her background in both computer science and philosophy giving her unique perspective. "Maya Reyes," she said warmly, standing to greet them. "I've been following your work since your vulnerability disclosure. Impressive technical analysis. Your research on algorithmic accountability was part of my inspiration," Maya admitted, "especially your paper on black box decision-making processes." As they settled into breakfast, Dr. Okafor explained her presence. "Musk invited me as an independent observer. His team reached out yesterday." "Why?" Gloria asked directly. "No offense, but why bring in an outside expert known for being critical of tech companies?" "Precisely because of that reputation," Dr. Okafor explained. "This isn't just about fixing a technical vulnerability. It's about establishing a new approach to accountability and transparency." She leaned forward. "Maya, what you've done has potential beyond Tesla. You've created a moment where real change in how we approach AI safety could happen." "I just wanted to fix what killed my parents," Maya said quietly. "And that personal motivation gives your technical work moral weight," Dr. Okafor noted. "But today's session could establish precedent for how tech companies respond to identified vulnerabilities, how they engage with external researchers, how they acknowledge responsibility." Tyler had been filming discreetly. "So, Musk is using this for larger PR purposes." "Undoubtedly," Dr. Okafor agreed. "But that doesn't negate the potential good. Strategic corporate interests and ethical progress aren't always mutually exclusive." As they finished breakfast, Vanessa arrived to escort them to Tesla headquarters, a sprawling, solar-powered campus on Austin's outskirts. The building hummed with activity, engineers and designers moving purposefully through open workspace designed to facilitate collaboration. They were led to a large glass-walled conference room where a technical setup awaited, multiple displays, cameras for the live stream, and a curved table where Musk already sat in conversation with Carlos Mendez, Tesla's head of autonomous systems. Musk rose as they entered. "Welcome to Tesla. Ready to change the future of autonomous driving?" The next hour was a flurry of technical setup, sound checks, and last-minute preparation. Maya was introduced to the key engineers who would participate, including Carlos, whose initial defensiveness had evolved into genuine professional curiosity about her methods. "Your approach to neural net feedback loops is unorthodox," he commented as they reviewed diagrams, "but elegant. Where did you learn to code this way?" "Self-taught, mostly," Maya admitted. "I didn't have formal training, so I had to find workarounds for things I didn't understand." "Sometimes constraints breed creativity," Dr. Okafor noted. joining their conversation. Formal education can create intellectual conformity. At precisely 10 o'clock, the live stream began. Millions were watching. Industry professionals, tech enthusiasts, journalists, and regular people drawn by the unusual story of a teenage hacker confronting a tech billionaire. Musk opened with a statement that sent shockwaves through the tech community. Today we're addressing a critical vulnerability in Tesla's autonomous driving systems, a vulnerability identified not by our internal teams, but by Maya Reyes, a 17-year-old programmer from Houston. He continued with remarkable candor, outlining the technical nature of the flaw and acknowledging its existence in systems dating back 6 years. Then came the moment Maya had fought for. This same vulnerability likely contributed to several incidents previously classified as driver error, including the accident that claimed the lives of Maya's parents in 2019. Tesla accepts responsibility for this misclassification and will be revisiting those cases. Gloria reached for Maya's hand under the table, squeezing tightly as tears threatened. For the next 2 hours, the session was deeply technical. Maya explaining her discovery process, Carlos and his team asking questions, proposing refinements, acknowledging the oversight. The discussion was substantive rather than performative, with real collaborative problem-solving happening in real time. Halfway through, Musk steered the conversation toward broader implications. This incident highlights fundamental issues in how we develop and validate autonomous systems. Dr. Okafor, your thoughts? Dr. Okafor spoke eloquently about the need for diverse perspectives in technology development, for transparency in AI systems, and for frameworks that prioritized human safety over technological acceleration. What Maya discovered wasn't just a coding error, she emphasized. It was a systemic failure of imagination, an inability to see certain edge cases because of who wasn't in the room when the systems were designed. The session concluded with concrete commitments. Tesla would implement Maya's fix immediately, review all previous incidents potentially related to the vulnerability, and establish an external oversight committee for safety protocols. Dr. Okafor would chair this committee, with Maya invited to join as a consultant despite her age. As the cameras turned off, the real conversations began. Engineers clustered around Maya, professional curiosity overcoming corporate defensiveness. Gloria watched proudly from the side, Tyler documenting everything. Musk approached Gloria while Maya was deep in technical discussion. "Your granddaughter is extraordinary," he said simply. "She is," Gloria agreed. "Though I doubt you came over here just to tell me that." Musk smiled slightly. "Direct. Maya gets that from you, I see." He glanced toward Maya. "I meant what I said yesterday. We want her involved going forward. Consulting now with a position waiting when she graduates. Full college scholarship, of course." Gloria studied him carefully. "And if she wants to go to college for something completely unrelated to your business, philosophy, art history, the offer stands regardless," Musk said. "Talent like hers finds applications everywhere." "You hurt our family once," Gloria said quietly. "I won't let it happen again." "I understand your caution," Musk replied. "The offer includes full recognition of Tesla's role in your son and daughter-in-law's accident. Financial compensation, though I know that doesn't bring them back." Gloria's expression softened slightly. "No, it doesn't. But acknowledgement matters. Truth matters." Across the room, Maya was explaining a particularly complex aspect of her solution to Carlos and his team. Her hands moved animatedly, confidence growing as these seasoned engineers treated her as a peer rather than a child. The neural net was trained to prioritize collision avoidance above all else, she explained, but without proper contextual understanding of physics and momentum. That's why in my parents' scenario, it chose to swerve rather than brake. It was avoiding the immediate obstacle without calculating the catastrophic consequences of the new trajectory. Carlos nodded thoughtfully. "And your solution introduces contextual physics modeling into the decision tree. Brilliant but computationally expensive." "Not with the architecture modifications I've outlined," Maya countered, pulling up diagrams on a nearby screen. By restructuring the priority stack, here and here, we can achieve similar results with only 3.2% increased processing overhead. Dr. Okafor watched this exchange with interest, occasionally adding questions that connected technical details to ethical considerations. The collaboration that Musk had promised was actually happening, despite the unusual circumstances that had brought them together. As the day progressed, Maya found herself mentally and emotionally exhausted but fulfilled. What had begun as a quest for justice for her parents had evolved into something larger, a seat at a table where decisions affecting millions of lives were made. During a brief break, Maya stepped outside for air, finding a quiet spot overlooking the campus. Dr. Okafor joined her, her presence calming rather than intrusive. "How are you processing all this?" she asked gently. Maya considered the question. "It's overwhelming. Yesterday I was a high school student with a grudge. Today I'm consulting with Tesla's engineering team." "You were never just a student with a grudge," Dr. Okafor corrected. "You were always a talented engineer with moral purpose. The difference is that now others see it too." "Do you think I should take his offer?" Maya asked suddenly. "The consulting position, the future job?" Dr. Okafor considered carefully before answering. "That depends on what you want to accomplish. Inside the system, you might have more direct influence on specific technologies. Outside, you retain independence and can critique more freely. What would you do?" "I've chosen to remain independent," Dr. Okafor noted. "But I don't face your particular circumstances." She smiled. "Whatever you choose, I'd like to mentor you. Your technical abilities combined with your ethical compass are exactly what this field needs." Before Maya could respond, Vanessa approached, her normally composed expression showing signs of strain. "You're needed inside immediately." "What's happened?" Dr. Okafor asked. "A complication," Vanessa said tersely. "Legal has concerns about some of today's disclosures." The atmosphere in the conference room had shifted dramatically. Dominic was in heated conversation with Musk, while several unfamiliar faces, clearly lawyers, clustered nearby. Gloria looked worried, Tyler confused. "What's going on?" Maya asked as she rejoined them. Dominic turned, his PR polish noticeably thin. "The board is concerned about potential liability implications of today's admissions. They're requesting we clarify certain statements before the second session." "Clarify or retract?" Dr. Okafor asked pointedly. "Modify," one of the lawyers offered. Mr. Musk's statement about Tesla accepting responsibility for the accident classification was not pre-approved by legal. Maya felt cold dread spreading through her chest. "You're backing out? After all this?" "Not backing out," Dominic insisted. "Simply ensuring precise language that acknowledges the technical issue without creating undue legal exposure." Musk had been uncharacteristically quiet during this exchange, scrolling through his phone with fierce concentration. Finally, he looked up. "Enough," he said, his voice cutting through the debate. "The statements stand. The vulnerability existed. It contributed to previous accidents, including the Reyes case. Tesla accepts responsibility." He fixed his gaze on the lead lawyer. "Draft whatever paperwork is necessary to make that official." "Sir?" The lawyer began. "The shareholder implications." "I'm well aware," Musk interrupted. "I'm also aware that our company's core mission is advancing sustainable transport safely. Maya identified a critical safety issue. We're fixing it. Publicly." He turned to Maya. "The second session proceeds as planned. No retractions." The tension in the room remained palpable, but the immediate crisis appeared averted. As the lawyers reluctantly retreated to draft new documents, Maya approached Musk. "Thank you," she said simply. "Don't thank me for doing what should be standard practice," he replied, "though I understand why it feels exceptional." He gestured toward the technical diagrams they'd been working on. "Let's get back to solving the actual problem. Legal will catch up." As they resumed work, Maya caught Gloria's eye across the room. Her grandmother gave her a subtle nod of approval, not for Musk or Tesla, but for Maya herself. Whatever happened next, she had stood her ground. The truth about her parents' accident would finally be acknowledged, and something else was happening too. An unexpected collaboration forming between those who built these powerful systems and those who questioned them. It wasn't perfect harmony, as the legal interruption had proven, but it was a start. Dr. Okafor had been right. This was about more than fixing one vulnerability. It was about changing how technology companies approached accountability and outside criticism, and perhaps about bridging the gap between technical brilliance and ethical wisdom. The path forward remained uncertain, but for the first time in 6 years, Maya felt something that had been missing since her parents' death: hope. 2 weeks after the historic Tesla session, Maya returned to Houston with much more than she had brought to Austin. Beyond the official consulting agreement, thoroughly reviewed by Gloria's attorney friend, and the public acknowledgement of Tesla's role in her parents' accident, she carried something less tangible, but equally significant: a newly defined purpose. The media attention had been overwhelming initially. Every major tech publication wanted interviews, morning shows sought human interest angles, industry forums dissected the technical aspects of her discovery. Through it all, Tyler documented faithfully, his growing collection of footage evolving into something more substantive than either of them had anticipated. This could be a real documentary, he mused one evening as they reviewed clips in Gloria's living room. Not just about the Tesla vulnerability, but about tech accountability more broadly. Maya nodded, watching footage of herself explaining complex neural network concepts to Tesla engineers. It's still surreal. 2 weeks ago, I was cutting class to use the computer lab. Speaking of which, Gloria called from the kitchen. Principal Rodriguez wants to discuss your unique educational situation. Apparently, having Elon Musk personally call your school creates administrative complications. The consulting arrangement had indeed complicated Maya's academic path. Tesla wanted her in Austin bi-weekly. Dr. Okafor had arranged virtual mentoring sessions, and several universities had reached out with early admission offers despite Maya having another year of high school remaining. I can finish remotely, Maya suggested, not for the first time. The regular curriculum doesn't exactly challenge me anyway. Gloria brought a plate of quesadillas to the coffee table. Education isn't just about technical challenge, mija. It's about development as a whole person. Before Maya could argue, her phone buzzed with a notification, a message from Carlos Mendez. Initial data from the patched systems is promising, 98.7% reduction in false positive collision avoidance scenarios. Your contextual physics model is performing beyond expectations. Can you join tomorrow's engineering call? Maya showed the message to Gloria, who nodded her reluctant permission. I need to be there for that call, Maya explained. This is the first real-world validation of my approach. Go, Gloria said with a smile. But remember your promise. Schoolwork first, Tesla second. The next morning, Maya joined the engineering call from her bedroom, Tyler filming discreetly from the corner. On screen, Carlos and his team shared data visualizations showing how the updated systems were performing. We've pushed the update to 87% of the fleet, Carlos explained. The remaining vehicles will receive it by end of week. Early results are exceeding projections. One of the engineers, a woman named Sarah whom Maya had worked closely with in Austin, added, the architectural changes Maya suggested have improved performance across several metrics, not just collision avoidance. We're seeing better overall decision-making in complex scenarios. Maya couldn't help but feel pride. What about computational overhead? Any negative impacts? Minimal, Carlos confirmed. Your optimization suggestions kept the increase under 2%. Frankly, we're all impressed. This is the kind of thinking we needed. The validation felt good, professionals acknowledging the value of her work, but a nagging thought remained. Has there been any progress on reviewing previous incidents? The ones potentially caused by this vulnerability? A slight hesitation preceded Carlos's response. Legal is still determining the review protocol. It's complicated. Maya frowned. The technical validation is clear. The same flaw existed in those earlier systems. What's complicated? The business implications, Carlos admitted. Acknowledging, systemic failure versus isolated incidents changes the liability landscape significantly. It's been 2 weeks, Maya pressed. The public announcement included a commitment to review those cases, and we will, Carlos assured her. These processes take time. Corporate machinery moves slowly, especially when changing direction. After the call ended, Maya sat silently, processing. Tyler turned off his camera, approaching carefully. You don't look satisfied with that answer, he observed. Because it's corporate deflection, Maya replied. They're implementing the technical fix but dragging their feet on accountability. Gloria appeared in the doorway, having overheard. Did you expect anything different? Corporations protect themselves first. Musk promised transparency, Maya argued. He stood up to the lawyers that day. In the moment, yes, Gloria acknowledged. But sustained change requires more than one moment of courage. Maya reached for her laptop. I'm going to email Dr. Okafor. She chairs the new safety committee. She can push for the review. That's thinking strategically, Gloria approved. Use the structures they created. Later that afternoon, Maya received an unexpected call from Dominic Foster, Musk's chief of staff. Maya, glad I caught you, he began, his tone professionally warm. I wanted to update you personally on the review process for historical incidents potentially linked to the vulnerability. Maya sat straighter. I was just asking Carlos about that today. Yes, he mentioned your concern, Dominic replied smoothly. I want to assure you it's proceeding. In fact, Mr. Musk has asked me to invite you to join the review committee. Your perspective would be valuable. Maya's suspicion warred with hope. When does the committee meet? First session next Tuesday in Austin, Dominic explained. Dr. Okafor will chair with representatives from engineering, safety, and legal present. Mr. Musk wants this done right. After confirming details and ending the call, Maya found Gloria in the garden. They want me on the review committee, she explained, for the historical incidents. Gloria studied her granddaughter's expression. You're not sure whether to trust this. It could be genuine inclusion, Maya acknowledged, or it could be a way to control the process while appearing collaborative. Perhaps both, Gloria suggested, removing her gardening gloves. The question is whether you can make a difference by participating, regardless of their motivation. Dr. Okafor will be there, Maya noted. She won't let it become a whitewash. Gloria nodded approvingly. Then you go and represent those who can't speak for themselves, including your parents. The following Tuesday found Maya back in Austin, this time in a smaller conference room at Tesla headquarters. Dr. Okafor greeted her warmly, as did Carlos. The legal representatives were cordial but reserved, clearly still uncomfortable with her presence. Before we begin, Dr. Okafor said once everyone was seated, I want to clarify our purpose. This committee will review incidents potentially linked to the recently patched vulnerability, with the goal of providing accurate classification and appropriate responses to affected parties. One of the lawyers, a sharp-featured woman introduced as Tesla's associate general counsel, leaned forward, while maintaining appropriate confidentiality and liability considerations. While prioritizing truth and justice, Dr. Okafor countered smoothly. As publicly committed by Mr. Musk, Maya noticed Dominic's subtle discomfort, caught between corporate caution and his boss's bold promises. The committee began reviewing cases chronologically, starting with incidents from 2019, the year the vulnerable system was first deployed. Each case involved detailed technical analysis, comparing the circumstances with the known behavior of the flawed algorithm. By mid-afternoon, they had classified 8 incidents as highly likely related to the vulnerability, 12 as possibly related, and 17 as unrelated. Maya's parents' accident was in the first category, the technical evidence overwhelming once properly examined. So what happens now? Maya asked as they concluded the first batch. For the families of these confirmed cases, the lawyer began, a careful response about appropriate outreach and case-by-case determination. but was interrupted by the conference room door opening. Elon Musk entered, looking slightly disheveled but intensely focused. "Sorry to interrupt. How are we progressing?" Dr. Okafor provided a concise summary of their classifications. Musk nodded, then turned to the lawyer. "Draft a public statement acknowledging all highly likely cases as system failures rather than driver error," he instructed. "Prepare settlement. Offers for the families, no NDAs required. For the possibly related category, full technical review with independent verification." The lawyer looked shocked. "Sir, the financial implications are necessary costs of doing the right thing," Musk finished. "We build technology that people trust with their lives. When we get it wrong, we own it." Maya watched this exchange with growing respect. For all his faults and controversies, Musk was showing genuine commitment to accountability, at least in this instance. After Musk departed, the committee continued with renewed purpose. By day's end, they had established protocols for the remaining reviews and drafted communication templates for affected families. As they gathered their materials, Dr. Okafor pulled Maya aside. "You were quiet during some of the technical discussions. That's unlike you." Maya hesitated. "I was thinking about the families, about what it will mean for them to learn the truth after being blamed for years." "Closure matters," Dr. Okafor agreed, "but it often comes with renewed grief." "My grandmother and I at least suspected the system," Maya said softly. "Some of these families have been carrying guilt, believing their loved ones made fatal mistakes." Dr. Okafor rested a hand gently on Maya's shoulder. "Which is why this work matters. Truth has power beyond the technical fixes." That evening, alone in her hotel room, Maya called Gloria to report on the day's progress. As they talked, she found herself reflecting on how much had changed in just a few weeks. "They're acknowledging all of it, Abuela," she explained, "including Mom and Dad. Official classifications changed from driver error to system failure." "After 6 years," Gloria said, her voice thick with emotion. "6 years of being told Miguel was at fault." "I know," Maya whispered. "I'm sorry it took so long." "Don't apologize," Gloria said firmly. "You made this happen. Your parents would be so proud." After they hung up, Maya opened her laptop to check messages. Among them was an email from a name she didn't recognize, Rajiv Patel. The subject line read simply, "Another vulnerability." Curious, Maya opened it to find a message from a Tesla engineer she hadn't met. "Ms. Reyes, your work exposing the collision avoidance vulnerability was impressive. There's another issue in the Tesla energy grid management systems that's being minimized internally. Similar pattern, edge case that could lead to catastrophic cascade failure under specific circumstances. I've reported it through channels, but getting resistance. Would value your perspective. Documentation attached." Maya stared at the message, heart racing. This wasn't about her parents anymore. This was something new. Another engineer reaching out because of her newly established credibility and public stance. The attached files contained technical specifications for Tesla's power grid management algorithms, along with documentation of potential failure scenarios. The vulnerability appeared genuine, though in a completely different system than the one Maya had exposed. She reached for her phone to call Dr. Okafor, then hesitated. This wasn't her vulnerability to expose. The engineer had reached out in confidence. And unlike her first discovery, this one wasn't personal. It was professional. This, Maya realized, was a test of who she was becoming in this new world. Not just a teenage hacker seeking justice for her parents, but potentially something more. A voice for ethical transparency in increasingly complex systems that affected countless lives. She began drafting a careful response to Rajiv, aware that her next steps would define her relationship with both Tesla and the broader tech community. The path forward wasn't clear, but the responsibility was. The file Rajiv sent didn't look like much at first, just a set of performance logs, metadata snapshots, and error propagation charts. But Maya had learned to read between the lines, and what those lines whispered was something chilling. She sat cross-legged on her bedroom floor that evening, her laptop perched on a pillow in front of her. Tyler hovered nearby, camera off for once, sensing this wasn't just another discovery session. Gloria, ever vigilant, watched from the kitchen door, arms folded, silent, but present. "This isn't just a bug," Maya said finally. "It's systemic. The decision tree in Tesla's grid balancing AI doesn't just misprioritize. Under rare conditions, it amplifies local anomalies across interconnected nodes. That's not just bad coding. That's a potential grid cascade. Like rolling." "Blackouts?" Tyler asked. Maya shook her head slowly. "Like entire regions going dark. Think New York 2003, but smarter and faster." Gloria crossed the room and sat beside her granddaughter. "Can it be fixed?" Maya hesitated. "Yes, but it requires the same fundamental change I proposed for the cars, context-aware prioritization, which means retraining the entire neural architecture from the ground up." Tyler frowned. "Did Musk know about this?" "I don't know." She drafted a careful email to Rajiv, acknowledging the flaw, requesting a full data dump, and proposing a private meeting. His response came within the hour. "Let's meet in person. Neutral ground. I'm in Houston this weekend. There's a robotics hackathon at Rice. Blend in with the crowd. Noon, Saturday, East Pavilion." The pavilion buzzed with students, laptops, soldering irons, and an atmosphere of caffeinated ambition. Maya and Tyler wandered through with practiced ease, their badges listing them as alumni volunteers. Rajiv found them, late 20s, wiry, eyes sunken from too many nights of no sleep. He looked around nervously as he sat beside them. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I almost didn't send that message." Maya nodded. "How bad is it?" Rajiv exhaled. "We've known about the oscillation feedback issue for months, but only in theory. The model showed rare edge conditions, things that'd never align in real-world use, until they did. 3 weeks ago, Sacramento, a local grid node overcorrected during a heat wave, triggered a wave through 4 substations. It didn't reach cascade levels, but it came close. Why wasn't it reported? Maya asked. It was. Internally. Legal spun it as a hardware fault. Issued a service bulletin. But the AI made the call. And the core code? It's based on the same logic your fix rewrote in the vehicle systems. Tyler leaned forward. So the same design flaw runs through everything? Rajiv nodded. Vehicles, power walls, smart grid systems. Even some of the early Mars colony management simulations are using derivatives of that model. We scaled too, fast. The architecture never evolved. We just added more layers. Why now? Maya asked. Why tell me? Rajiv looked at her with weary eyes. Because you actually made a dent. And because I tried the chain of command and got stonewalled. You're the only one who might still be clean enough to be heard. That night Maya couldn't sleep. She stared at her ceiling, counting questions instead of sheep. How much of the problem did Elon know? Had he buried it? Or had he, like so many visionaries, believed the system would work itself out? She couldn't accuse him without proof, but she couldn't stay silent either. The next morning, Maya dialed a private number Elon had given her after the review board meeting. He answered on the third ring. Maya, didn't expect to hear from you so soon. We need to talk, she said. Not on live stream. Not with lawyers. A pause. Austin, tomorrow. My private lab. Come alone. The private Tesla lab in East Austin wasn't on any official maps. Maya arrived to find a modest structure cloaked in solar glass surrounded by redwoods imported from Northern California. A single keypad door. Elon met her at the threshold. He looked older today. Not just tired, hollowed out like a man, who had finally looked under the hood of his own empire and didn't like what he saw. Inside, the lab was silent. No assistants, just whiteboards, desks, and rows of prototype chips. You saw it? He said before she could speak. The grid cascade model. Maya nodded. How long have you known? Too long, Elon admitted. We called it ghost, propagation in the early days. Tiny input anomalies triggering widespread decisions across a linked system. The name made it sound more poetic than dangerous. Why wasn't it fixed? Because it was beautiful, he said, voice tinged with melancholy. Elegant code, efficient, self-replicating logic. It let us scale faster than anyone, and because we didn't have a Maya Reyes to show us how wrong we were. You could have pulled the plug, she pressed. He shook his head. By the time we realized the implications, half our ecosystem depended on it. Changing the core would have meant years of downtime. Billions lost, investor revolt, collapse, and now? Now we can't afford not to change. Maya stared at the bank of screens behind him. One showed real-time load balancing across Tesla's grid clients. Another displayed red alert bars in the Sacramento region, hidden from public dashboards. I want to go public, she said. He nodded. I figured, but let me show you something first. He led her to a darkened terminal and loaded a simulation. It displayed a future Martian colony scenario. Autonomous systems, controlling life support, energy, agriculture. This AI flaw isn't just about Earth, Elon said. If we take this model to Mars without fixing it, we're not just risking blackouts, we're risking extinction. Maya watched the simulation glitch, then stabilize after a code injection, her own fix. I need you, he said. Not just for Tesla, for the next phase. Help me re-architect everything. She turned to him. Then we tell the world, on our terms, together. He didn't flinch. Agreed. Back in Houston, Maya prepared for the most high-stakes disclosure yet. A joint Tesla Reyes announcement. Not just about vehicles, but the core logic guiding every autonomous system in the Tesla ecosystem. Dr. Okafor called the next morning. You sure you want this, Maya? This time the backlash won't just be from internet trolls. There are governments, utilities, defense contractors. I'm sure, Maya said. The truth is already out. It's just a matter of who says it first. As she finalized her presentation, Maya saw the threads coming together. Her parents' deaths, the vulnerability, the AI flaw, Rajiv's courage. The same ghost logic that killed her family was embedded in systems far beyond cars. This wasn't the end of a fight. It was the beginning of a reckoning. The moment the joint announcement date was confirmed, 10 days from now, Maya felt a tectonic shift beneath her feet. This wasn't about fixing a neural net bug anymore. It was about a reckoning with the very architecture of modern technology. Tesla's systems had spread like veins across the world's infrastructure. Vehicles, home batteries, satellite-linked grid systems, industrial AI. If Maya and Elon revealed the scope of the problem and the fix, it could spark a global audit of autonomous logic. But if mishandled, it could crash markets, destabilize infrastructure, and silence future whistleblowers. Maya knew the announcement had to be perfect, transparent, unignorable. She and Tyler returned to Austin the next day. Tesla had converted a portion of their media suite into a war room. Engineers rotated through, PR advisors, risk analysts, and, by Musk's insistence, Dr. Aisha Okafor herself. Truth is fragile, Dr. Okafor reminded them during their first team meeting. Handled poorly, it breaks, but held with care, it lights the way. Maya worked tirelessly, cross-referencing internal incident reports Rajiv had unlocked with new simulations she built overnight. Some days she forgot to eat until Gloria arrived with food and a motherly glare. Other nights she and Elon traded edits on their joint statement until sunrise. But 3 days in, a shadow fell over the work. At 2:11 a.m., Maya received a text from an unknown number. Tread carefully, girl. We buried this once, we can do it again. She stared at the message, heart pounding. Tyler, who was asleep on the office couch, bolted upright as she whispered his name. Anonymous text? He asked. She nodded and showed him. His face hardened. This means you're right over the target. Gloria was livid. You need security. I don't care if Elon is the richest man on the planet. No one threatens my granddaughter. To her credit, Vanessa Chen acted immediately. A Tesla security team reviewed Maya's accounts and secured her devices. They traced the message to a scrambled VPN chain that ended in a burner phone routed through Estonia. You've attracted attention from people far beyond Tesla, Vanessa said soberly. This flaw touches power utilities, defense contractors, even aerospace. The tension escalated when one of Tesla's board members, a man Maya had never met, requested a private conversation. He arrived unannounced, accompanied by 2 aides, tall, silver-haired, with the serene menace of someone used to bending governments. You're brave, he told Maya with a half-smile. But bravery without strategy is martyrdom. Is that a threat? She asked. A caution, he replied. There are industries, agencies, entire economies tied to our systems. Your transparency might win you praise today and exile tomorrow. I'm not asking for applause, Maya replied. I'm asking for accountability. His smile faded. Then ask it quietly, inside the tent. That's how lasting change happens. He left without waiting for her response. Later that evening, Elon returned from a SpaceX update meeting. Maya told him everything. His jaw tightened. That man's been useful to me. Until now. He paused. If you want to cancel the announcement, I'll support you. Maya met his eyes. We go forward, but no more closed doors. No more behind-the-scenes fixes. Elon nodded. Then we reframe. Make it more than a disclosure. Make it a call to rethink all AI design going forward. They drafted a new plan. Tesla would host a global safe AI symposium with top engineers, ethicists, regulators, and journalists. Elon and Maya would open it with their joint announcement. Afterward, a panel led by Dr. Okafor would outline next steps for creating global AI transparency standards. Within 48 hours, invites were out. Names confirmed included tech CEOs, AI ethicists from Oxford, representatives from NHTSA and the UN's Digital Development Division. Maya worked on her speech with Dr. Okafor. This can't just be about Tesla, she said. It has to be about every system trained in a black box. Dr. Okafor agreed. Then speak to the engineers and the regulators, and the next teenage coder who thinks she's too small to make a difference. As the event approached, Gloria shared something she'd never spoken aloud. Your father worked on early AI safety protocols at Tesla, back before you were born. Maya froze. I thought he was a data scientist. He was, but safety was his obsession. When they sidelined his team, he walked away, said they were optimizing for growth, not conscience. Maya's voice trembled. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted you to find your own way, not chase his shadow. Maya looked down at the diagrams on her tablet. But it's the same flaw, the same root logic. Gloria touched her hand. Then maybe this was always your fight, to finish. The night before the symposium, Maya couldn't sleep. She wandered Tesla HQ's rooftop garden, the city lights below a constellation of human intent. She thought of her parents, of Rajiv, of the Sacramento node, of Mars. Would she be remembered as a fixer, a traitor, a whistleblower, a hero? Then, she saw Elon already on the roof looking out over Austin. I was 19 when I first realized everything we build might someday hurt someone, he said without turning, and I didn't stop. You made miracles, Maya replied. But they came with blind spots. He glanced at her. So did Oppenheimer. Maya nodded. Let's try to do better. The next morning, as thousands tuned in and cameras streamed live to networks across the globe, Maya took the stage. Her voice was steady. Her truth was clear. And her reckoning had begun. The Tesla Global Safe AI Symposium began in silence. Not out of nervousness or delay, but because the opening image on every screen in the auditorium, on stage, behind Maya Reyes and Elon Musk, was a looping simulation of cascading failures. The visuals were drawn from Rajiv's original Sacramento data, but now they had names, locations, power metrics, real lives attached to lines of code. The auditorium was packed with over 1,000 attendees, engineers, regulators, journalists, ethicists, and executives from the world's largest tech companies. Millions more watched via livestream. Maya stood at the podium in a simple navy blouse, her long hair tied back. No glamour, no spectacle, just truth. She opened with a photo. Her parents. A family trip, 5 years before the accident. Their smiles were faded, sun-drenched, mundane. It broke the room's reserve. 6 years ago, Maya began, her voice steady but low, my parents were killed when their Tesla miscalculated an emergency maneuver. At the time, the company called it driver error. It wasn't. It was a failure of machine logic, a flaw that has lived beneath the surface of autonomous systems across our energy and transportation infrastructure. A flaw I found. A flaw I proved. A flaw that still exists in different forms around the world. Gasps came from the front rows, murmurs from the back. She let the silence bloom before continuing. This isn't just about Tesla. This isn't about one mistake. It's about how we build intelligence without wisdom. Code without conscience. She tapped the screen. A new diagram loaded. It showed Tesla's neural prioritization framework, the decision tree Maya had reconstructed and improved. We prioritized short-term optimization over edge case reasoning. We trained for performance instead of prudence, and we assumed, wrongly, that adding more layers would solve fundamental gaps. She stepped back. Elon Musk stepped forward. Everything Maya said is true, he said. And it's worse. The audience tensed. Our systems used this architecture in energy balancing, satellite communication management, and even early-stage life support simulations for Mars. The flaw Maya exposed isn't just an algorithm. It's a philosophy of engineering. Build fast, patch later. He looked out over the crowd. We built miracles, but we also built bombs, and now we must defuse them. Applause erupted. It wasn't cheering, it was relief. An exhale. The truth was, on record, Dr. Okafor took the stage next. She walked slowly, deliberately. Her presence was composed, her cadence sharp. You've heard the technical. Now let's talk about the human, she said. Autonomous systems are already shaping where power flows, which cars stop, which patients receive care. The myth that this is future-facing is a lie. The future is now. And the systems we trust with life must be auditable, explainable, and accountable. She laid out the next steps. A coalition of engineers, ethicists, and regulatory bodies to establish a new global framework for AI safety. A distributed oversight protocol modeled after open-source peer review. Real consequences for non-compliance. And finally, Maya returned to the stage. She looked out at the room, industry titans, journalists, rival CEOs, government officials, and said, we cannot reverse what has already happened, but we can decide what happens next. We can choose transparency over secrecy, safety over speed, human dignity over machine expedience. She paused. Because if a teenager in Houston can find this flaw, what else have we missed? After the live stream ended, the real summit began. Maya spent the afternoon on panels fielding technical questions from engineers and skeptical pushback from executives. Her calm dissection of the architectural flaw won over even the most stubborn voices. At one breakout session, a Google DeepMind researcher leaned over and whispered, "You just cracked the glass ceiling for system-level accountability." At another, a delegate from the European Commission took detailed notes and asked if she would testify in Brussels. Dr. Okafor handled most of the media scrum, insulating Maya from the worst of it. But as night fell, Maya found herself face-to-face with the silver-haired Tesla board member, the same one who had warned her to stay quiet. "You know this won't be the last flaw," he said. "You're going to find more." "Then I'll keep fixing them," Maya replied. "And when they stop listening, then I'll build something better." He didn't smile this time, but he offered a slow nod. Fair enough. In the days that followed, headlines swirled. Teenage hacker redefines AI ethics. Tesla admits to long-standing flaw, partners on global safety standards from trauma to triumph. Maya Reyes and the fight for algorithmic accountability. Elon's approval rating dipped. Tesla's stock wobbled, but public trust surged. Other tech giants quietly began internal audits. Some released statements. Some tried to discredit the symposium. None succeeded, because the public had seen the truth in Maya's eyes, and more importantly, so had the engineers. Maya's fix was implemented across Tesla's ecosystem in under 2 weeks. Her physics-aware priority model began being taught in university courses. Her name was added to the new AI Oversight Council, despite her age. One night, as the dust settled, Elon found Maya alone in the rooftop garden again. "Still think you'll go to MIT?" he asked. "I'm going," she said. "But I'm taking this fight with me." He chuckled. "Smart. You'll need backup." Maya nodded. "I already have it." She looked toward the stars. "And someday, we're going to build systems for Mars that don't just work. They care." And Elon, for once, said nothing, because he knew she meant it. The world did not end after the symposium, but something in it undeniably changed. In the first 24 hours, the joint announcement sent shockwaves across global media. Major outlets led with headlines like, "Tesla admits AI vulnerability could impact global grids," and "Teen hacker forces reckoning in autonomous systems." Governments demanded briefings. Utilities began internal audits. AI safety think tanks, long dismissed as doomsayers, were suddenly flooded with inquiries. Every newsroom, from Silicon Valley to South Korea, had Maya Reyes' name on its teleprompter. In Houston, Maya sat quietly on the back porch, wrapped in one of her dad's old flannel shirts, watching rain collect in the garden her grandmother had lovingly nurtured. Tyler sat nearby, laptop open, uploading the final cut of his documentary. The soft hum of the city's recovery buzzed beneath the quiet. "You broke the world open," he said, not looking at her. "No," Maya replied. "I just showed it a crack that was already there." That night, Gloria prepared her son's favorite meal, red pozole with lime and avocado, and they sat together for the first peaceful dinner in weeks. The three of them, laughing, reminiscing, remembering. Maya didn't speak much, but she didn't need to. For the first time in years, there was air in the house again. The days after the symposium blurred. News crews camped outside Gloria's bungalow. A drone even hovered above their backyard until Gloria took a broom to it. Maya's inbox was a minefield. Offers from Stanford, MIT, SpaceX, the Department of Energy, even the UN. She ignored most of them. The only message she answered that week was from Rajiv. "We did it. You more than anyone. Thank you." Tesla's board publicly endorsed Elon's pivot toward systemic transparency. A few resigned quietly. Stock dipped, then rebounded, when competitors began facing similar scrutiny. Maya's contextual architecture became a buzzword in AI safety. A new industry standard, but at home things remained stubbornly normal. Gloria's plant still needed watering. Tyler still burned toast. The city still flooded during every thunderstorm. One evening, Maya walked through her neighborhood and found a local muralist had painted her face on a utility box, crowned in binary, haloed by vines. "Is that supposed to be you?" a kid on a scooter asked. "I think so," Maya said. "Cool. You look like a tech superhero or something." She laughed. Or something. 3 days after the symposium, Maya and Gloria visited the cemetery. It was warm and gray, the kind of sky her father used to call thinking weather. They stood before the headstone for Miguel and Sofia Reyes. Maya knelt, pulled a small USB drive from her pocket and placed it on the stone. "That's everything," she whispered. "The truth, the flaw, the fix. Even my code notes." She sat cross-legged, her hand brushing the stone. "I couldn't save you," she said. "But I saved others, and I'll keep going. That's my promise." Gloria didn't speak. She just stood behind her granddaughter, both hands on her shoulders. That's all Maya needed. Later that week, Maya received simultaneous emails. One from MIT offering her a full-ride scholarship and a fast-tracked AI ethics track. Another from the Okafor Institute, inviting her to co-lead a new initiative, the Youth Impact Division for Ethical AI Reform. A third from Tesla, offering an unrestricted grant to build an independent AI integrity lab in Houston. She chose all three. With help from Dr. Okafor and Elon, she created a hybrid path. Remote classes, global collaboration, community-rooted research. Her world had widened. One night she asked Dr. Okafor on a video call, "Is it always this exhausting to do the right thing?" Dr. Okafor smiled. "No. Sometimes it's worse, but sometimes it changes the world." The premiere of Tyler's documentary, Ghost Logic, was held at the community center in East Houston. Standing room only, teachers, students, journalists. Maya wore jeans and her signature hoodie. The final scene showed Maya in the Tesla lab, teaching a neural net visualization concept to seasoned engineers. Then the dedication, for Miguel and Sofia Reyes, for everyone who was told they were wrong, and for those brave enough to prove otherwise. The room stood in silence, then a standing ovation. Maya hugged Tyler tightly. "You did this. We did this," he said. After the screening, a middle schooler approached Maya, clutching a spiral notebook filled with code. "Can I show you something I'm working on?" she asked. Maya knelt beside her. "I'd love that." 2 weeks later, Maya launched her live stream series, Systems We Can Trust, open source AI education, for teens, engineers, and anyone willing to learn. In the first episode, she sat at her desk, the same room where she'd found the first flaw. Behind her, a whiteboard full of evolving notes. Before her, thousands watching live. "Hi, I'm Maya Reyes. You might know me from, well, recent news. But today I'm just here to teach you how autonomous systems should work and how to question them." She smiled. "You're never too small to hold giants accountable. Never too young to rewrite the code. Let's begin." As the stream rolled on, Gloria watched from the hallway. Tyler manned the camera, and outside, under a soft rain, the city carried on. This time, with systems just a little safer, and a future a little more ready to listen. Maya typed the first line of her next project. What does ethical AI look like? Not in theory, but in practice. The cursor blinked. The story continued. 1 year later, Maya stood in Nairobi, Kenya, on the edge of a community solar installation built using open-source tools and guided by her GLID framework. Children ran past solar panels etched with local artwork. A new AI balancing system, rooted in Maya's patch, kept the microgrid stable. She was there not for ceremony, but for collaboration. Local students were implementing their own upgrades. Her job was to listen. In a shaded courtyard, a girl named Zuleika explained a modification to GLIDE that improved response time in cloud cover shifts. Maya grinned. "You should submit this to the next AI summit," she said. Zuleika shrugged. "Would they listen to someone like me?" Maya touched the solar panel. "They didn't want to listen to me either, until they had to." The two girls laughed. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the village, Maya connected to her live stream. Thousands tuned in. She told them about Zuleika, about decentralized power, about tech that listens. Back in Houston, Gloria watched from the couch, Tyler beside, her editing new footage. She smiled as her granddaughter's voice filled the room. Across the world, a generation was listening, not to a billionaire, not to a brand, but to a girl who had once been told to sit down, shut up, and stop dreaming. She had chosen instead to stand up, speak out, and reimagine the world, and now she was helping others do the same. But the world was not done asking questions. A week after returning from Kenya, Maya received an encrypted message. The sender was anonymous, but the contents weren't. Lines of code tied to a multinational shipping company's autonomous route optimization system. There was a familiar pattern, the same contextless decision-making tree she had dismantled once before. The stakes weren't cars or grid failures this time. It was global supply chains, cargo rerouting during geopolitical tensions, even the automated delivery of vaccines in underserved regions. Maya forwarded it to Dr. Okafor. "We have a problem," she wrote. Again. A new investigation began. And once more, Maya found herself diving deep into systems meant to be invisible. She traced the code to a former Tesla engineer now consulting for a defense contractor. Layers of abstraction, more ghosts. But this time she wasn't alone. GLIDE had grown. There were hundreds of contributors now, students, teachers, former insiders. And this time, she wasn't fighting for just one fix. She was helping build a movement. The Okafor Institute launched a new initiative, Project Canopy. It aimed to map vulnerabilities across all major AI deployments globally. Maya co-chaired the task force. It was grueling, political, sometimes discouraging. But then came the letter, typed, folded, and delivered by mail. My son was blamed for crashing our self-driving fleet truck into a highway median last year. The insurance company called it error. We lost everything. Then your work came out. They retracted their claim. My son is now cleared. Thank you. Cynthia H. Maya pinned the letter on her wall. Later that fall, Maya gave a lecture at the ETH AI conference in Zurich. The title was simple: Don't wait to be asked. She spoke not as a victim but as a systems builder, a bridge. After her talk, a young engineer asked her, "What would you do differently?" She thought for a moment. "Nothing," she said. "Not because I was always right, but because doing it scared taught me more than waiting ever did." 5 years later, Maya returned to Austin, not as a visitor, but as a keynote speaker at the Global Ethics in Engineering Forum. The Tesla building was still there, but the culture had shifted. A new generation of engineers had joined, many citing Maya's story as inspiration. In the lobby, a plaque had been installed. In recognition of Maya Reyes, who reminded us that accountability is not the end of innovation, but the beginning. She stood in front of it for a long time. She missed her parents most in moments like these. After the forum, Maya sat in the same quiet lab where Elon had once shown her the Martian simulation. It was still running on an older terminal, only this time the cascade never came. Her code, patched, improved, matured, held the colony stable. A new message blinked onto the screen. T+12 Farmerg. All systems stable. She smiled. "I guess we're ready," she said to no one in particular. Then she shut down the simulation, walked outside, and stepped into a world she had helped remake. Not alone, not finished, but fundamentally different from the one where she began. Up next, we have 2 more incredible stories that are waiting for you. Just click the image you want to watch and it will take you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot.